Hey guys, this is J19 brought to you another video, and today I'm just gonna talk about Final Fantasy 17. Yes, I got Final Fantasy 17 on my mind and some ideas that I want to see from it. Or if it's not Final Fantasy 17, maybe a future Final Fantasy game. So before we do that, if you guys want more like content such as this, subscribe if you're new, like the video, and hit the bell notifications to know if I want to go live or upload my next video. As you can tell, I am still early in the morning. I just woke up like a few minutes ago, so let me get my bearings and let's get right to it. Now, what I want to see from Final Fantasy 17, I want it to be handled by either Creative Business Unit 1 or Creative Business Unit 3. I think the Luminous production team, which is, I think, is Creative Business Unit 2. I'm not quite sure if that's them. But I can see them possibly doing Final Fantasy 17 after Forspoken's out. I don't really know exactly what their plans are. Creative Business Unit 1, I would love to see them work on Final Fantasy 17. But I know they're busy with Final Fantasy 7 stuff. Creative Business Unit 3, who knows? Once they get 16 done, maybe if it's successful, maybe they'll ask them to do the next one. I wouldn't mind. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about what I want to see. I know a lot of people have some thoughts about, opinions about how I feel about these two ways. But hear me out. Just hear me out. The first idea I had was a Western-themed Final Fantasy, where you're like in the old Western days. You don't have horses. You got chocobos, right? Summons. I don't know if you can put. You can still put summons in it, but if you don't want to put like big time creatures in like a Western world, you can name like cities after them or towns after like after the summons, or you can have some kind of special lore that we have mythical creatures that roam the earth or roam the planet, and or something like that. It's just something of that nature. If you want to put summons in it, that's fine, because it's a Final Fantasy. Of course, you're going to have Moogles. Moogles can be dressed up in cowboys. Chocobos are going to be your horses. Now for the characters. I'd love to see characters that are like, you know, bounty hunters, or like not U.S. Marshals, but you guys know what I mean when I say U.S. Marshals. Like law enforcement. Back in the Western days, I would love to see, like, maybe later on you get like a ranch hand, or maybe a rancher, a farmer that come join you. The weapons they're going to use, of course, is like guns. They can use like, you know, stuff in the Western days. It'd be mostly guns. You may have a person with a bow. They do have bows back then. Maybe somebody uses a knife, you know, because there are knives back then. Stuff like that. Maybe they'll use a hatchet, or maybe they'll use like, you know, weapons like that. I mean, you can have somebody with like a wooden staff or something. You know, that'd be cool. Because I love Western themes. Like Red Dead Redemption 2. When I played that game, like seeing the Western theme and all that, with the horses and the cowboys and the outlaws and stuff. You know, I thought to myself, it's like, what would a cool Final Fantasy theme would be? Because we got, you know, steampunk, we got the old, you know, medieval. I'm like, you know what? I don't think they ever done a Western themed one. Like right here, this is kind of have a Western feel, with the wagons and villages and stuff. 16's got a little bit of that, even though it's medieval. But I would love to see like Western theme. You know, have the main character be like a bounty hunter. You do bounties, like you go capture bad guys or kill bad guys. You gotta stop them for creating havoc. Of course, magic's gonna be involved. Whether it's like special, you know, special gifts that Westerners are born with, or stuff like that. You know, just something simple. And the stories, they can go a number of ways. Like, it starts off normal as a Western. You know, you're a bounty hunter. You just go on doing bounties, and you're doing, you know, the work of the lawmen for them. You know, you're going out gathering these bounties and going out to capture or stopping this thing, or you help people. Of course, it'd be like side quests and stuff. But the main thing is you learn about your character and stuff like that. And then somebody big, you hear about something big going down, and ends up being, you find out who the main protagonist, antagonist, and of course you have people maybe in the bounty hunter squad, or maybe you meet some people who want to join up and fight and stop this main maniac that's doing some crazy stuff that's not normal, like a typical fantasy style way in a in a Western themed. You guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. That's the first idea I had. The second idea I had is I've been playing Resident Evil and just seeing like how big and massive like the horror aspects genre of games are getting. And I know Square Enix love to like dip their toes into stuff. So that's why the Western theme one would be good. Another one I would like to see is a horror focused Final Fantasy, where you have a group of characters and it's horrifying, right? You're in a horrifying themed, like, not like a Resident Evil, but like maybe you gotta stop a corporation that's doing all these freaking like extreme tests, and it's creating these horrifying creatures, and maybe you gotta stop them. I'm not saying like a Resident Evil, like one step by step, but something of that nature. Or you start out as a normal person, normal characters, but then as you progress, like you have time skips where you wake up the next time, and like your characters have grown a little older, and all of a sudden like the world's gone to crap. It's horrifying. It's a really dark, bloody. It's gonna be a mature game to tell the story, and it's not gonna be for the faint of heart. It's gonna be like just not really super gore, like Resident Evil 2 or stuff like that. But I wanna have like that horror element, the horror aspects, the atmosphere, where you're constantly on your toes, you're on the edge of your seat. You feel it's like it's intense because you got to fight your way out, and you got like, I don't know if you're fighting zombies or whatever, or these creatures. But I think a horror focus Final Fantasy would work, because Square, they like to dip their toes, not dig, dip their toes in the in different genres of Final Fantasy, like the action, all about action now, right? All about, they done Stranger Paradise, right? That's for what Team Ninja, for what, like a Souls type in a way, stuff like that. They're going into action, Souls type. So what's going to stop them from doing like either like a Western themed one or a horror focus? It can have action in it. It's going to be an action game, like maybe Final Fantasy 7 remake, maybe 16, stuff of that nature. I would love to see one of those aspects, themes, come to life in a Final Fantasy. Of course, you're gonna have chocobos. So you ride around chocobos in like semi-open zones for both. Not open world. I don't think they want to do open world because that'd be too much. Just like a linear open zone type games for both. You have chocobos, Moogles, of course. Maybe Moogles are no longer like regular Moogles for the horror theme. Maybe they're hideous, horrifying creatures, but they're here to help you out. Like, you'll find out that not all of them are bad. And the chocobos are still around, but very limited. Like, you only get like 1 or 2 chocobos as you see throughout the whole game that survived, and of course the Western themed one, you're gonna see chocobos like crazy. You have chocobo farms, and you have ranchers and outlaws, and you have to fight. Maybe you fight them on chocobo, horseback, or chocobo back. That'd be neat. So, anyways, just to throw some ideas out there. Let me know what you guys think of the Western theme Final Fantasy idea, or the horror focus, action Final Fantasy for Final Fantasy 17. Let me know in the comments below. I just want to give you guys something to think about today. It's a lengthy little video. My mouth is all dry, of course. So, with that said, if you guys like this type of content, if you guys want more theories, not theories, but like ideas for Final Fantasies down the road, feel free to like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications so you know if I go live or upload my next video. With that said, hope you guys stay safe out there, be nice to each other. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys for love and support as always. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you on the next one. Take care. Oh, by the way, I have links in the description as well for my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. Feel free to give me a follow on both of those. Join Discord, we discuss more of this nature. With that said, talk to you later.